Wake up, wake up, wake up, bright stars. There's not much more to say. If you don't realize what's actually going on, how the wool is being pulled over your eyes, or you've got your head stuck in the sand, there isn't a thing that I or anyone else can say to you. So often, when we don't want to know what's really going on, we hide ourselves away. We only listen to positive things, and we think that's the answer. The problem is there is a world and a reality going on around this soul, around this human form, and we have to be aware of it. Doesn't mean we have to get triggered, doesn't mean we get sucked into it. Here we are, at the end of October, and I don't wear masks. I briefly put one on twice for a friend of mine, but then ripped it off because I wanted her to feel comfortable. And I can't do that to myself. I can't do that to make other people comfortable. But she is a dear friend, and I've known her since we were 6 years old. And she too doesn't believe in the whole masking and the whole COVID, but she wanted to make other people feel comfortable, and that's what worked for her. So it's not ever a judgment, it's a choice. So each of us has a choice. If you've bought into Agenda 21, if you bought into that this is really a pandemic, they downgraded this to a flu in April. And yet they're still running around thinking there's going to be a second wave and it's so tragic and awful. And they get pumped up by how many more people tested positive. That's what I hear from these people. 65 people a day in this one little town somewhere, or whatever they're saying. Who cares how many people test positive? The test was never even designed for this. The inventor of that test even said that. It was never meant to test COVID. Each one of us has these cells within us, these viruses in us, and has for eons of time. Of course, if you keep magnifying something, you're going to test positive. It doesn't mean you're going to have a single symptom. It doesn't mean it's going to be even as severe as a normal flu. It just means you got something and your body's trying to purge it out. Most people are compromised. And again, I've said this before, that are elderly with many conditions, or those that got flu shots last year. And now still all this propaganda about getting a flu shot. Did you get your flu shot? Medicare keeps sending to me, get your flu shot, they're free. Excuse me? Like, really? Oh, good. Now I can inject myself with Bill Gates poisons and all the pharmaceutical poisons. Like, it's not bad enough that Roundup is still on the shelves. Roundup that kills our soil, that totally pollutes Mother Earth. Miracle-Gro that people think are good for our plants and our vegetables. Nobody bothers to read anything and look it up. I mean, I look at people's homes that I go to and they have all these shampoos and they have these conditioners and they have these cleaning products that are filled with chemicals. I can't help you wake up. If you want to stay around in an unconscious planet being a slave, then that's what will happen. But the time is coming where you have to make a choice. It's almost too late already if you're not paying attention. Spirituality has such a loaded word. Everybody coins things thinking, oh, but I'm spiritual. I'll transition. I'll go into the new, more enlightened, beautiful, peaceful world. But it can be just a religion. It can be just another religion. We have to be careful. It's about awareness. It's about seeing what's going on in the world. observing, but not getting sucked into any of it. So you know how to act when the time is right. And that's if we're leaving this planet or we're not. But stop letting other people dictate your reality. For those of you still living in fear and thinking that you're going to get something, you're going to get it, and even maybe more severely. Why? Because you've bought into the fear, the stress, the toxicity of a mask. You know, most people don't know those throwaway masks that are littered all over the place now, billions of them on the planet, in the oceans, in the water, are filled with chemicals. So yeah, that's a great thing to do. Let's put it over our mouth and nose. Let's breathe that in. One more thing. So I don't have much more to say anymore. All I do is work on myself with the golden light. The reason I brought this up is a young gal said, please just try to say one more thing. Just help wake some people up. The thing is, I can't wake them up. People have to wake themselves up. I could give you stacks and stacks of information to prove that this is a hoax. And yet, you're never going to read it if you don't dive in and find it yourself. And even if you did read it, you're never going to believe it unless you find it yourself. So, you're on your own. You've got the power. You've got the ability. You've got a divine self that is total love, total joy, buried in this human form. That means nothing. It's a vehicle that we've allowed to go into fear, manipulation, control. So whether I'm in this physical form or not, I don't care. All I know is I'm not going to live by another person's rules, another group, their agenda that has no concern about my health and welfare, nor yours. So if you don't think this is about control and manipulation, best to you. And if you understand it, then keep bringing the golden light in, keep weaving it. It's actually within you. That spark, that diamond golden light is within you. Just keep growing it, spreading it around you, keeping your space sacred, keeping your space protected. And whatever the outcome of what happens, you'll know in the moment what to do. And if you leave the planet, you leave the planet. And that's okay too. Okay, have a great day. Best to you.